It's Neil's on Dynasty. Looks like macaroni and cheese, macaroni and wine. France, the president of France, Macron, just validated Russia winning the Ukraine war. Basically. Uh, Funny as shit. Poland first did it, Hungary did it, now France is doing it. The rest of the world, you guys will wake up here shortly and realize that Russia just already won. Even though they sent their C team to do the job, they damn sure didn't send their best soldiers, or else that war would have been over in 6 weeks. But anyhow, here's the story. It takes about 2 minutes of bullcrap before it gets into basically saying Macron agrees with Russia. So you're gonna have to listen to the 2 minutes of bullcrap. Sorry.
The Zaporizhia nuclear power facility in Ukraine. Now, this was a watershed moment for the EU-Russia relations in the backdrop of Moscow's ongoing war in Ukraine. Zaporizhia nuclear power station, which is the largest nuclear power plant in Europe, has been a point of concern in the recent clashes between Ukraine and Russia. Russia seized control of the surrounding cities of Enerhodar and Berdyansk, as well as the nuclear power station in Zaporizhia at the beginning of the conflict. Recently, the power station came under heavy attacks, which ended up destroying 3 radiation sensors, which triggered concerns of erupting out of a Chernobyl-like incident on Ukrainian soil yet again. Since then, Russia and Ukraine have been pointing fingers at each other for the ruckus. The Russian embassy in Washington alleged that 2 high-voltage power lines and a water pipeline were damaged by Ukraine. In the aftermath of these attacks, the organizations like the UN and IAEA constantly asked Ukraine to allow international inspectors to access the Zaporizhia nuclear plant to prevent another Chernobyl-like tragedy.
See, now when investigators from an international organization ask the president of the country if they can go in there, if the president of the country sets conditions before they can go in there, he's hiding something.
Ukraine kept throwing spanners into the work of such an investigation.
Just like I said.
Zelensky demanded that investigation would only be allowed once the territory is free of the occupier. Simply put, Zelensky conveniently politicized this sensitive issue involving a possible nuclear tragedy on European soil. In fact, G7 and most Western leaders doubled down on Zelensky's fatal demands. G7 issued a statement. It is Russia's continued domination of the nuclear power plant that endangers the region. So G7's priority in this case was to force Russia to vacate the region and then allow IAEA to initiate the investigation, exactly what Zelensky had demanded. But here's when Macron sets the bars high. Macron, dismissing Ukraine's concerns over Russia's control of the region, reached a deal with Russia to enable IAEA to conduct necessary security checks at the nuclear site. France taking Russia's opinion on the issue of the Zaporizhia nuclear plant is truly a groundbreaking move. It has legitimized Russian control over the Zaporizhia Oblast. The phone call can also be read as the initial signs of Paris trying to normalize relations with Moscow. Ukraine looks in a mood to prolong this conflict in one way or another. US has already made its intentions clear by...
Alright. Anyhow, if you watch my videos, you'll know that Poland has already agreed with Russia, Hungary, and one other country, because they're going to annex over half of what is now Ukraine into their countries. So, and I said Putin was a genius, because all 3 of those countries were working against Russia before Russia made the deal of, hey, we'll split the country, I'll take half, and you 3 can split half. Poland's getting the largest part of this. And then Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, just 2 days ago signed into law the area that the Polish are going to take over. Basically, he handed it over to him, giving it back to him as a colony, more or less. And now you see France stepping up and saying, no, Russia definitely has the power plant, it's theirs. which delegitimizes the Ukrainian government even more. And yet no one else sees this. But then again, I understand only like 8 people watch my videos to see the truth and to hear my perspective giving you the truth. Russia has already won. Poland, Hungary, France, everyone agrees they've already won. It's just, it's a mind fuck going on right now. And a lot of people out there got scrambled eggs for brains. Sorry about that, but they do. Trying to give it to you straight, because I don't care about feelings. Don't care if I hurt your feelings. I'm trying to give it to you straight. You know, hope you can make some sound financial decisions. Here's another thing you need to know. Putin's already said the BRICS nations that control 40% of the world's natural resources, 5 countries, they don't need a 6th, they don't need Iran, they don't need Saudi, they don't need any of these others. 5 countries control 40% of the world's natural resources. They've already come together and said they're going to reevaluate the price of precious metals. They own, they being the BRICS nations, South Africa and Russia, the platinum mines that we have on this planet right now, creating platinum. There is some placer mines in California where you can find some platinum. It accounts for about 5 to 8% of the platinum that's mined every year. And I believe I heard something about Putin saying he was going to reevaluate the metals to the basically to the out of the ground standard. And I'll be a son of a bitch if platinum isn't mined 1/30th less than gold. 30 ounces of gold come out of the ground for every 1 ounce of platinum. So if Putin's not lying, buy silver and platinum. You won't regret it, especially the platinum part. And I can tell you this right now, if they do that, America's going to have to follow suit. Until we kind of sort of get a better deal with Zimbabwe. Here's our checkmate. Zimbabwe has the largest untapped vein of platinum in Africa that I'm aware of. There might be others. I'm not the smartest guy in the room. One of them. But Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe has the largest untapped platinum mine. They're American friendly right now. Actually, they're using the American dollar as their national currency, trying to go to the gold standard to get their people off the US dollar because they gave their money up a long time ago. The interesting part about that is they are using the US dollar. They're not using the Russian ruble. And they have the next best thing for platinum once it becomes highly valuable. So here's some financial advice. Look to invest in any kind of mining going on that might have anything to do with platinum or silver or gold or copper in Zimbabwe. Because if they strike platinum and the BRICS nations raise the price of platinum like Putin said they were going to do, you'll be a wealthy son of a bitch. Have a nice day.